when you order a part, you want it to show up, the right part, which is in and of itself a huge data challenge.
It doesn't matter how good it is or how cheap it is. If it doesn't fit, the part is irrelevant.
Hi, I'm Matt Fowler from Pivotry. I'm the account executive overseeing the automotive industry. I've been in the space for 13 years now. Yeah.
I'm Nils Peterson, head of product strategy with Deeper Systems. I think I can proudly say that I've been in the automotive industry for over 25 years. So
I'm catching up.
Yeah, I'm
catching up.
I always felt like everybody was 25 years plus, or there was always somebody that came and said, hey, I'm third generation. That sort of trumps everyone. But that's sort of what we love about the industry.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen you around for many meetings and auto care associations and so forth. Happy to sit here and walk through this today. So automotive, what do you feel like automotive? What's special to you about automotive? Why you attached to it and I guess keep coming back?
Yeah, I mean, automotive is interesting. It was something that I kind of fell into. I'm originally from Michigan. So in my first company that I worked in that was in the automotive aftermarket, basically it was like, you're from Michigan, you know cars, you're now in the automotive space. And then I started going to all the events, and it's such an interesting industry because it is so unique in the way that it functions. And then it's the only industry that I've worked in, and I've worked in quite a few, where genuinely speaking, every company is always looking to advance the whole industry, not only just themselves. I've never really seen another industry pull that off, right, as well as I've seen it happen in the aftermarket. And that's kind of how I keep coming back.
Yeah, whenever there's an event, it's like everybody's into it. I came from the data side and so I'm not from Michigan, but the data and the complexity of the data, the unique data challenges and so forth, it's like, that was interesting. Be part of solving some of those. So, and then I think some of the complexity around the supply chain or distribution as well was it's like, we work with distribution. It's always, hey, you order by 5, you have it next morning, and that's not how automotive works. So,
yeah, I mean, it's always an interesting model because it's a 3-tier distribution model, right? Like it's manufacturer, distributor, retailer, and that allows them to do things very quickly. Because the movement of parts, it's not like I have a dance or something coming up on Friday. I should probably order an outfit on Monday. It's like the car's in the dock. It's on, it's on a lift, and they want it out by the end of the day. So when you order a part, you want it to show up, the right part, which is in and of itself a huge data challenge in getting all of the fitment data, getting all of the, correct part to fix the problem, identifying it, and then getting the right one sent to you is always another piece. So kind of going through all of that, and you have to do it as instant as you can, because every second that the car's up, you're losing money, and the person getting their car fixed is less and less happy.
Yeah, I love that aspect of it. We, as consumers, we drop our car in the morning, and regardless of what's wrong with it, we'd love to get it back. Sometimes late afternoon, not knowing the whole. It's like, okay, we got to diagnose it. We got to figure out what part is needed. We got to order part. We got to get those parts delivered and installed, tested, and out of the door. Right? So I feel like that's the magnificent aspect of automotive, that you deal with all of those. So same day delivery, like 2-hour delivery.
Yeah.
Like versus, at the Amazons of the world, it's like, they do same day delivery sometimes, but not multiple times a day.
And the stakes are just lower, so they can do it a little bit later. And if things go, that's what forces, a lot of, whether it's do it yourself or do it for me, whoever's ordering the part, right? They want to get it fixed fast. And if tying back to the data side of it, one of the pieces is making sure that they get the right part, and they think the same thing, and they've been doing it for so long, they'll order 3-4 of the same thing that are just slightly different to make sure they don't have to wait for the delivery again.
So that's unique because that ties into, we'll talk a little bit about returns and so forth, but when you buy things is, first of all, it has to fit. Like, it doesn't matter how good it is or how cheap it is. If it doesn't fit, the part is irrelevant. So it's got to fit. And the next thing is it has to be in stock and delivered. So it doesn't matter how well it fits and how good it is or quality if it can't be delivered, so you can do the repair. And then third, price and quality and so forth is distant third. It's not like we as consumers, when we look at the repair bill, that there are actually specific brand names of the parts on there. It's always something obfuscated, like, unless you actually go out and sometimes those parts are hidden inside of assemblies and so forth. So you don't stand a chance of even knowing what is the brand and quality of the part that was put onto the part.
Yeah, and I think that, in that aspect, it's interesting too, because then all of a sudden brand recognition, while it's good for the consumer when they're thinking like accessories and things of that nature, when it's just general replacement parts, a lot of consumers, not all, there are definitely people who will look it all up, but a lot of them, it's really the person you're trying to love your brand is the installer, not necessarily the consumer. Right. So advertising to that can be an interesting challenge as well, just to get them to recognize, use our part every time because it's not going to break, or it's not going to do this, or it's going to be cheaper or whatnot.
Right. So you said accessories, and then we were in the maintenance and repair world of things, and one of the things I've learned throughout the years in automotive is that different aspects is completely different worlds. So we were sometimes exposed to it. We have like collisions, like, oh, you think you're going to take your car to a dealership and so forth? It's like, oh no, like collision is completely different. Obviously, it's all about the car, accessories, I guess performance part.
Accessories, performance, paint,
paint,
tires. They're all handled slightly differently. Yeah, as it all goes through, for sure.
And we buy them differently too. So like the accessories and whatever you need in order to figure out like what is the particular roof rack that will work on my car, or if now a lot of parts have like paint color. So one of my experiences right now is like, I need a new cover for a right mirror. And like, okay, well, that particular year, make, model, am I able to get the cover in that specific color for that specific car and trim level? So that's sort of, I love those data challenges. Like, how do I actually find that? And who does that? Who does that well?
Yeah, that's definitely, it's always interesting to me. I tend to be someone who kind of goes online sometimes and just builds cars on the things. And it's like, you change one thing and all of a sudden it's like, well, you have to change these 4 others too. And then you think about after the fact. Once you've done it, now all these parts are also tied to all of those different changes, and it's got to be documented somewhere.
Right.
And making sure that it's given to the repair people.
Yeah. And you said something about you would buy like multiples just because you don't quite know. So what do you do when you're uncertain? You make sure you're covered. So what does that scenario look like if you're the repair person that's diagnosing and say, okay, I need this replacement part? So you take us through what that looks like.
So kind of from the way that I see it is basically, you diagnose, you figure out what you're going to need. You may order 2 or 3, 4 of something, based on the fitment. You mentioned trim level is another interesting piece that kind of plays into it, because sometimes it's just you're speeding through it and you're just like, well, both of these could work. Yeah. I don't know which one's going to work the best. I'll just get them all. And then you return the ones that you don't use, which leads to kind of a relatively high return rate. Conservative numbers put it at somewhere like 16% of online automotive parts. Less conservative numbers will put it up at 20, 25% even, just because of that mentality of buying multiples in order to make sure that you get what you need. You don't have to take the car off and wait another day to get another part. It's
I remember those stories as well, that you order from multiple places and whoever gets there first, that's the one you install and then return. So that's another thing that drives return. But this whole thing was like, well, I don't know if it's this part, this part, or this part, because you trust the data, you trust all of this, and then and then you take them out of box. It's not like you return the item in box, right? So there's some.
Well, if you get it halfway on, you've gotten it dirty, you've gotten all this stuff done with it, and now you have to, it just gets sent back, and then it's got to get re-cleaned up if it's even reusable still. Because some parts, the minute they're open, they're no longer viable. Yeah. So it's an interesting concept. The stakes are so much higher in automotive parts, which is another reason that I think it's a fun space, because the transportation costs. Many of these parts aren't light. Right. It's not like ordering a piece of clothing or shoes or something. These are heavy pieces that have to be moved from place to place. Right. On top of the fact that when you go to return them, not all of them can get returned necessarily, or resold, I should say.
Yeah.